Okay, this is day 62, part 2. Everybody's probably seen this already, but the DNC server hack traces to a company called Crook Servers, and then that is based in Pakistan, run by a guy named Usman Ashraf. Now, I actually think this is a tribe, the Ashraf tribe. Mahmoud and all these different people. Is that Ashraf Mahmoud? Is it Abid Ashraf Awan? I think there's going to be a tie-in to a tribe named Ashraf, but we'll get there. But bottom line is, the DNC's story has been Russia, Russia, Russia. The Russians did it. No, it was actually to Pakistan. Okay, so let me drill down a little bit to exactly where in Pakistan, and also how CrowdStrike is involved in this, because there's Cozy Bears do the DCCC hack first. They steal the money from October 2015 at the DNC till May 23rd, that Memorial Day weekend, right? And those are the Cozy Bears. Those are the ones. And then they send it to this server right here, which is a well-known server, a hacking server that this Steve McIntyre points out, right? Then the DNC and CrowdStrike, and I've covered this many times, wipe all the phone systems, wipe all the servers, wipe everything out, and then they put Falcon down, and now you're going to shift it over to the Russians. The Russia. Russians are going to be the hackers. They're going to be somewhere out there on the internet. Actually, no, they're over here in Maryland, not far from me. They're actually over here at the compound in Maryland, over here at Centreville, right? But this is going to be setting up the Russia. And they're going to be able to prove it, right? Because they're going to use, the mistake though is they use the same servers in Pakistan. It takes them right to Pakistan. So again, metadata and fingerprints really nail it. And it's MUA networks. MUA networks. Now, what do we know about MUA networks? Well, MUA networks, take out the S, is Musa. M-U-S-A, Musa. I think Chevy Chase had a thing where he went to a Moose World or Mickey Moose or something. He went to Musa. What's Musa? Well, Deep Uranium told you maybe 300 days ago that Musa was the PAC 111. Musa is PAC 111. Musa is PAC 111. Take out the S. Now, they can't say Musa Network, so it's as close as you're going to get, folks. Okay, now where else? Well, first let's go to Musa. Okay, so here's Islamabad, right? You remember our kidney center from the last 2 or 3 days? I've been talking about that. Here's the general headquarters of the Pakistani army in Rawalpindi. This is the old headquarters. This is general headquarters. You can see how close it is to the kidney center. You can see how close it is to the state oil center. You can see how close it is to the drug center. Okay, so now where this maps to, this town that this guy mapped it out to, was actually a little town called Mirpur, Mirpur city, which is right on where I said it would be, on the on this border between India right here, India over here, Pakistan over here, and then this corridor, this Kashmir corridor, this critical corridor, okay? And this is where you're going to have your Osama bin Laden lovers, and you're going to be telling them stories about Osama bin Laden and how Osama bin Laden, got all the dragons and everything. And this is in Abbottabad. So they go over the thing and they run the drugs back and forth. And really, this is where Seymour Hersh has failed, because he's been the kind of duped by his intelligence leaks that Osama bin Laden was alive and so forth. Osama bin Laden was this figurehead to get young guys like, Imran Awan to run drugs in these dangerous areas. Now, you can see how close it is to Sialkot, so you can almost see the rat line developing. They bring it over. So I'm going to say new Mirpur city is where they actually bring it over. And then you're going to run them down to Sialkot, down to the soccer ball makers in Sialkot. Your packaging is going to be here. Now, I think this is where the reduction step is. I'm pretty sure this is a pass here. And then here, if you want to see Mirpur, you're going to see largest of Azad Kashmir, okay? Largest city of Azad Kashmir, okay? So, and you can see it's pretty mountainous. I don't think you're going to be doing the reduction step of the opium there, but you're going to do it the first place you get flat land. This used to be the head of the old empire, I think. I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong spot there. Sialkot is kind of the head of the old Alexander the Great, the old empire, which is Alexander the Great kind of stopped and when he brushed into it, which was going to be this Mughal Empire, which is Sialkot. Okay, so we're and then you can see almost Imran's life is here. Now, here's where Imran's sending the money. A little bit further south, this Faisalabad and Lahore, you can see right here, where this is where you're going to have your tech, your nanotech, and this is your technology investments are going to be over here. And this Faisalabad is going to be more the drug rat line that's going to go on down to where Imran ends up going to work at the customs house in Karachi. Okay, so that's the whole rat line. This is kind of the missing piece, that these servers are in this really bad area, and there's going to be whoever the Punjabi PSP supports up here, which I think is going to be SPS, is going to have these servers. But it's Musa. Don't be confused. It's Musa, Mickey Moose. It's Mickey Moose doing the Musa here on the rat line in Kashmir, which we've talked about many, many times. Now, who else did they hack? Well, they hacked the German parliament. These guys, the Musa networks, MAU networks, So where are they based out of? Where is MAU networks based out of? Well, they're where we said they're in NATO. Well, first there's Montreal, but they're in NATO. I've said all along. I mean, I can't count how many days going back to day 55 was NATO, and the hacking was from NATO. It's just if you want to look up stuff that we've done on NATO, just say George Webb NATO and just get a cup of coffee. But the other key one was Montreal. You have to have Montreal. Why do you have to have Montreal? Because you have to have 5 eyes. The 5 eyes are going to be the UK, they're going to be Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. You need the 5 eyes. If you're Andrew McCabe and you want to do a deep dive on Donald Trump, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have started that one. This is me and down at the drug rat line getting breakfast at the drug rat line. Montreal Institution Montréalaise. Yeah, it was terrible French. So if you don't remember the terrible French, there I was. So anyway, you have to have the 5 eyes. Andrew McCabe and CIA before him called up wiretap after wiretap from Montreal. That's also going to be the rat line for I'll go back to that, it's kind of funny. It's also going to be the rat line for all the doctors coming into the United States. You're going to get some kind of training up there. Then you're going to bring in the different doctors. Same thing for your rat liners. Same thing for the people doing repilling of drugs. When you're going to sell your drugs now down in Fort Belvoir, you're going to repill them. I believe the main repilling operation is in Montreal. Then you bring them. Hell's Angels or somebody else is going to bring them into the country. I believe out of Trois-Rivières, down through to New York, down through Jackson Heights and so forth. And that's the distribution network. But the repilling is in Montreal, guaranteed. You're going to talk to RCMP, they're going to tell you the repilling is in Montreal. So, going back all the way to CrowdStrike now, CrowdStrike did everything before the supposed Seth Rich death with the Cozy Bears, with Imran, right? And then they did everything after with the Fancy Bears out in Maryland, right? And that's exactly what happened. And CrowdStrike was in the middle with the cloth, with the server. Not the claw. The Awans had the claw for the DNC, but the cloth. The CrowdStrike had the cloth on the server. Then you bring in the Fancy Bears from Maryland, from Centreville, Maryland, and you blame it on the fancy Bears.